After using this phone for a week as my daily driver, I felt this phone great for the price you're buying for. Well, let's check out the full review of this phone after a week. Let's talk about design first of all. This phone feels premium when you look at it, but when you hold it, it's different story. Phone is having decent build quality. I cannot say it feels premium. Flagship phone, it feels loose somehow, but I won't complain much. No doubt this one is also a very fingerprint magnet because the phone back cover is made up of plastic charcoal gray color, which is really attractive to fingerprints. So no worries that because you can swipe the back cover later on when Lenovo release alternative back cover for it. Let's open up the back cover itself and see what's inside. You will find three separate slots, two slots for micro SIMs and one slot separately for SD card. So there is no hybrid SIM slot. This is really good about you can use two micro SIMs along with SD card separately without any issue. And in the bottom you will find non-removable 3300 mAh battery also. In the bottom of the phone you will find micro USB port with microphone on the right, volume rocker and power button, and above 3.5 mm headphone jack. In front you will find gorgeous 1080p panel with great view angles and color with dual front firing speaker and no backlit captive buttons. In the back you will find microphone with 13 megapixel with curve correcting flashlight along with fingerprint reader below the camera module. And on the front you will find 5 megapixel camera with sensor and notification LED. That is all about the design. So let's talk about the specification of the phone itself. The phone packed with 64-bit MediaTek MT6753 octa-core processor and with the GPU of Mali T720 MP3. If you talk about the RAM, this phone comes with 3 GB of RAM and internal storage of 16 GB, and you can expand the memory via micro SD card up to 128 GB. So this is really good, which gives you enough processing power and RAM to do lots of multitasking. Let's find the details in benchmark itself. Now I will shut up and show you guys the benchmarking score itself. As you can see, the power consumption of this phone is also decent. As you can see, the battery loss compared to screen on time. You guys may be wondering how Lenovo manages brightness of the display of this phone. I find it pretty good at this time compared to my Lenovo YP1. As you can see, the brightness level of both iPhone and Kphone Note are pretty equal, so good job here as well. After all this test, let me run common apps and see if phone struggles in handling daily tasks or not. Well, I don't find any issue in opening and closing app, which is another good sign. Let's get over to CPU and GPU performance in gaming. I'm gonna test two games, Real Racing 3 and Marvel Contest of Champions. You guys see how it performs. As you guys can see, there is no lag in these games. Might be lags in some high-end games, but I won't complain. This is this phone is capable enough to run decent 3D games. Might be not able to run high-end games like Nova 3 or Asphalt 8 or GTA San Andreas as well. After talking lots about performance, let's jump directly to camera review itself. Default camera UI is decent and produce good images after process, but at the same time I find Google camera with HDR produce better color images. So I conclude for video recording use default camera and for photos use Google camera. So let's check out the camera samples from Lenovo Vibe K4 Note, the photos and the videos. As you can see, the camera is pretty good, and I don't have any complaint in camera at all, because there is no OIS or software stabilization. So you will find somehow the video footage so shaky. If you are ranging if you are trying to make a video in outside light, then it's pretty much suffer in capturing highly dynamic range. So you might be having some struggle in that. At the same time, you can see that macro video shots which I made from the toys and all those stuff are pretty clear and really good in color reproduction as well. At the same time, you can notice that when I at the same time you can see when I shooting the video of micro toys and all those kind of stuff, the video produced is very good and in very high quality. So I won't complain about the camera much. This camera is capable of taking really good images in every light condition, and I will say that avoid use the flash, because the current color correcting flash is not really good, really nicely optimized yet. I hope in the future software update they will gonna take care of it. So stay tuned with this, and I will gonna give you update on it later on. So phone is good in terms of hardware. Let's dive into the software itself. Lenovo packed with lot of features, and Lenovo Vibe K4 Note run Android 5.1 out of the box with the Lenovo Vibe UI. You will get knock to light, fingerprint gestures, and VR headset support with the phone itself. I will show you how to set up fingerprint and how it performs. For setup of fingerprint sensor, you just need to go to settings and go to security. In that you will find fingerprint option. You just need to click on it, and then there will be a simple instruction of how to set up your fingerprint. As you can see, there is a option to unlock phone. Once you're done with that, you will be a menu pop-up where you will have to tap on fingerprint sensor with your finger 10 times to register your fingerprint. Once you're done with that, you will be okay, and you will be glad to see that how the fingerprint performs. I don't find any issues with fingerprint sensor at all. It works 99% of the time, and I love it. So far there is no problem at all. This is more faster than my iPhone 6, so that's great about this fingerprint sensor. So Lenovo did a good job over here, but the bad thing about this fingerprint is it can only save 2 fingerprints, not more than that. But I won't complain much again, because you don't have to use thumb or any other finger other than your index fingers of your both hands. So this is fine for now. So the main attraction of this phone is also the Dolby Atmos speakers. So let's test out how it performs with dual front firing speaker from the Lenovo K Phone Note.
Do you recall not long ago when you would walk on the sidewalk? And then remember, all we did was care for each other. But the night was warm, we were bold and young. All around, the wind blows, we would only hold on to let go. Look, it's
I hope you guys noticed that difference when I enabled Dolby thing and when I disabled it. And this is how the speaker performs in terms of quality. I hope you guys like it. So overall this phone is amazing and worth buying if you're looking to buy a new phone for this price bracket. I hope you guys like my full review of this phone after a week usage. Thanks for watching. This is Deep Single from Attack Point. Peace.